I'd like to call to order the Charter Township Oxford Board of Trustees meeting. Today is March 12th,
April.
2017. April. I've been running all day. You know what I mean. Please pay respects to the flag. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's move to the noting of the roll, please.
Noted.
I will say that Jack has got an excuse. He's at MTA, and Margie's also excused.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second motion. Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approved. I said agenda. Approval of the agenda.
And I got the consent agenda.
Can you try it all? That's what I need is a picture. So we're
The consent agenda.
okay. Approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other questions? Roll call.
Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Wright, yes. Treasurer Farrar.
Yes.
Trustee Garrett.
Yes.
And Supervisor Dunn.
Yes. Public comment on items not on the agenda. Please introduce yourself to the board.
Mr. Supervisor, board members, my name is Ralph Macro, and I'm prosecuting attorney for Oxford Township in the 52-3 District Court. I'm here tonight to speak briefly on three matters which may be coming to your attention. Sergeant Lenz is present tonight, and the Sheriff's Department in Oxford Township and I have looked over the ordinances of the township in prosecution matters. Just by way of background, you can be very proud of their ability to enforce the laws in your community. We have basically 100% conviction rate for those people that are charged. In the tenure that I've been there handling the account for a little under a year. My background is in law enforcement. I've been an attorney 30 years. Prior to that, I was in law enforcement. And I'm very impressed with the manner and method in which they manage things in the street and bring them to the courts. The judge is similarly impressed. Three things I want to bring to your attention. One is a recommendation for an ordinance adoption called Causing a Police Response. Causing a Police Response was drafted by me. It's been in use in Orion Township for several years. It permits a prosecuting attorney under a specific set of circumstances to determine that a crime has been committed, but that under the circumstances of that particular crime, a civil infraction may be a better remedy with a fine maxing at $250. And although this ordinance calls for up to $500 in cost recovery to the community that has to use law enforcement resources to respond and act at a crime scene that ultimately is reduced to a civil infraction, that requires an act of the state legislature, which is not yet under consideration, but there is some talk about it. So the notion of causing a police response, if you would, I usually use the example of a fellow who's never been in trouble, or a young lady that's never been in trouble with the law. They're in their 50s or 60s. They get in an argument with their next door neighbor. It gets out of hand. They're charged with disorderly person. The only place I have to go is disorderly person. So they get tagged with a 90-day misdemeanor. If in fact we have complete concurrence, there's no injuries, everybody's in accord, we allow them that one bite of the apple. The case itself is dismissed without prejudice, which means if 2 weeks later they start it up again, we can wind back the clock and go back to base. So it's something that's been very, very utilitarian, very useful, and we have a number of cases coming up at the end of April involving some individuals where that may be applied in an Orient case. The other ordinance adoption is one that basically says we adopt state law. There is a state law that says any crime can be charged as an attempt. What that attempt does is reduces by 1/2 the amount of jail time that could be imposed on an individual, but does not affect the fines or costs aspect of that crime. In the 52-3 District Court, the Chief Judge has had some concerns that the statute may not apply to certain misdemeanors. So what we did in Orion Township, where I represented them for about 6 years, we passed the ordinance that said we adopt state law as to attempt crimes. It gives us another bargaining chip in our arsenal of weapons to use. The third thing I wanted to bring to your attention is that the state has now addressed the statute regarding minors in possession. They've made a number of changes, one I was a little bit involved in. But in January of next year, minor in possession charged under state law on a first offense will be a civil infraction. Now, the state has to work through a couple of things to straighten that statute out, and hopefully they will. But unless they impose something similar to what they did when they outlawed mere public drunkenness as a crime, every community is going to be faced with the challenge of, are we going to continue to call a minor in possession the first offense a crime in our community, when if they're charged under state law, it will be a civil infraction? That's particularly important in your jurisdiction, because you're one of the few jurisdictions in southeast Michigan that makes minor in possession a 90-day misdemeanor. In most communities, it's a non-jailable misdemeanor, and it's attached with community service. You have probably one of the strongest ordinances against minor in possession. So I just bring that to your attention because probably sometime early fall, you may want to consider how you want to address that issue. And the state legislature by that time should also have addressed the issue of whether or not you can even have an ordinance regarding minor in possession that makes it a crime. But if they leave that out, every community will have to have that little bit of soul searching. So I have drafted propositions for causing a police response and also for the attempted crime. I'll provide them to the township clerk for you to review. If you have any questions, my information will be available. You can contact me, contact Sergeant Lentz, and I thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Sorry it took so long.
And this will be on the Township Board agenda for next month's meeting for consideration. Thank you, Skip. Any other public comment on items not on the agenda? Let's move on to the first reading of proposed ordinance 67A.014, recommendation to modify section 8.10, safety path. Supervisor Dunn. I'm not going to turn this one over to.
This is basically just a cleanup, on how to, when they get recommendations back into maintenance.
And it's pretty clear right here in the note. So, is there any questions on it?
I move to set a second reading and possible adoption of the amendments to Article 8, Section 8.10, Safety Paths of the Charter Township of Oxford, zoning ordinance 67A of May 10th, 2017, Charter Township of Oxford Board of Trustees regular meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and supported. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Fire Department? I don't see anybody here from the Fire Department, so there is no update. Unfinished business? Cedar Long Lake, Tan Lake Special Assessment District, clerk record.
Yes, as you're aware, board members, we've been going through the process to establish a special assessment district in the Cedar Long and Tan Lake areas. Based upon the dialogue that we had in recent, basically last month, concern with information that was either misleading or uninformed or other situations, whether it was petitioning or on behalf of the township. We come to a decision, a recommendation to the board that, based upon some attorney reviews of irregularities in our resolution, being that we did not include the total cost of the project into the resolution, nor do we include all the lots into the resolution itself that were scheduled to be omitted. The recommendation to the board here is to consider the SAD invalid based upon irregularities and informalities in the process. And so what we have before you is a resolution to rescind the SAP. And there's a motion on the bottom.
I move to approve a resolution to reconsider the previously approved resolutions number 1 and number 2, and declare the proposed creation of a special assessment district, the treatment of aquatic weeds in Cedar Lake, Long Lake, and Tan Lake to be invalid by reason of irregularities or formalities in the proceedings.
I support.
It's been moved and supported. Before we vote on this, myself and Curtis Wright were at a meeting last night, and whether you're for or against this, or for or against the project, Gail over here did a wonderful job getting out information, not only both sides, and also some information from the people that were going to put the apply the weed killers on the lake. It was very informal, and whether you're for or against it, you did a wonderful job, and I appreciate that. It's been moved and supported. That has been. Let's do a roll call.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Trustee Dart.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. And Supervisor Dunn.
Yes. Thank you, Paul. On to the Planning Commission resignation.
I move to accept the resignation of Todd Bell from the Planning Commission with regrets.
Support.
Moved and supported. You get dittos for me. Todd has served for quite a while. He's also been chairman for a number of years, and he's done an excellent job. He will be missed. And it was moved and supported.
Yes.
We're going to do another roll call.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Dart.
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
And Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Let's move on to my recommendation for the replacement. Jen Knowles here, and myself and Clerk Wright have dealt with him over the past months or two. Not always on nice stuff, but he's always showed himself to be prepared. And I was impressed with how much knowledge he brings to whatever is in front of him. I think he'd be a great addition to the Planning Commission, and I make a motion to appoint John Knoll as to the Planning Commission. Do you have it?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if you may, I don't know John that well. If you could bring him to the podium.
I was going to make the motion and then
Okay.
have discussion.
Sorry.
I move to appoint John Knoll to the Charter Township of Oxford Planning Commission, effective immediately to fulfill the vacancy with term expiring December 31st, 2017.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions?
Yes.
John, would you mind stepping up here, please?
Hi, John. I'm Elgin Nichols. A couple questions I have. First of all, could you elaborate a little bit on your background for the Planning Commission?
I've lived in Oxford for 28 years. I was part of industry for 13 to 15 years. I formed my own company 20 years ago. I have a threefold company, maintenance of commercial and real estate, commercial buildings as well as residential, and I have a consulting part of the business as well. I've served homeowners in the horse country as well as homeowners on the lakes. I've worked with commercial buildings on M24 corridor. That includes some of the carpet place here in town, Curtis floor covering, HL Clays. I've moved some of the veterinary clinics in town, so I have a fairly good knowledge of the town and the business in it. I've had the opportunity to work for two of the churches, local churches, and been very much a part of their building programs and some of their expansions. I've raised my family here. We live on the lake in Tanview, and it just came time to get involved with the community, and I had the opportunity, so I decided to apply my resources and time towards helping the township.
What is your vision as such for the township, being on the Planning Commission?
Well, there's actually a threefold vision that I've talked over with some of the Planning Commission. There's the business on the M24 corridor, there's the residential, and then there's the retail. And there has to be a balance between them all, and there has to be an open site in regards to balance those within the community.
Okay, very good. I have no more questions.
Any other questions from the board? Roll call.
Clerk Wright, yes. Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Trustee Dart.
Yes.
Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
And Supervisor Dunn.
Yes.
Aboard.
Do you want to swear him in after the meeting?
I did communicate with Mr. Nolan, and indicated that if he wants to stick around after the meeting, I would swear him in, or if he wanted to come in tomorrow morning.
Because I believe there's a meeting tomorrow night. So, putting you right in the fire. Board of Review appointment, Supervisor Dunn. Get on to that one here. The last time we dealt with this, we put in Melvin Kreiderman for the Board of Review. At that time, we didn't have anything from the previous member. We've straightened all that out, and we've asked Mel Kreiderman if he would go from alternate to a full-time member of the Board of Review, and he's accepted.
I can make a motion, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, you can.
I move to appoint Melvin Kreiderman as a regular member to the Charter Township of Oxford Board of Review with the term expiring December 31, 2017.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Yes.
I believe, got a typo, I believe it's 2018, two-year term.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, I'll amend my motion
I'll
then.
amend my support.
Thank you, amenders. Let's do a roll call for this.
Trustee Nichols?
Yes.
Trustee Dirk?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Supervisor Dunn?
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission, alternate member. For me, I've been asked by the commission to find out if we can get an alternate. We only have a 5-person board, and if one person is missing, we can't do, because we have basically a person from each community. So it's important that we have an alternate to slip in there so they can conduct their business. Since Margie's not here, would be wrong to put her on this?
Or Jack, either one, should volunteer.
Either way, they will volunteer, you think? Now, is there a motion?
Who would be the most interested, you think?
I think... So they get for missing. Let's do Margie.
I move to appoint Margaret Payne as the Oxford Township alternate representative to the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission with a term expiring November 20, 2020.
Do I have somebody support it?
I'll support it.
Have a turn to do with. Look,
That's why I don't miss meetings.
so it's been moved and supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? God, you're cruel, Joe.
You're the one who made the suggestion, I just went along with it.
No. West Nile program, we get the same thing every year, their chloride. Each year we go out for bids with a local company to do the chloride and the road commission. In your package, you've got the findings of that.
I move to provide chloride service in 2017 at 50% township, 50% resident participation for individual orders on public gravel roads and contract with Road Maintenance Corp. 28 cents per foot for individual orders, and with the Road Commission of Oakland County at .3292 per foot for individual orders. The township contribution being allocated from account number 101-446-969-000 Highway Road Maintenance.
Moved. I'll second. Yes.
The quote for the road commission for Oakland County is .392.
Isn't that what I said?
3292 is what you quoted.
Okay. Make it 392.
Okay, that's, you amended your motion?
I'll support.
Oh, I amend my
You made a
support.
motion?
I did it already, thank
You
you.
did it, huh?
A little slowly.
All right.
Must be all that fish I took today. Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Treasurer Ferrari?
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Nichols?
Yes.
Trustee Dirk?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Yes, now, virus program, Treasurer Ferrari.
Let me go into all the details or no?
No, please save us.
Okay.
Spare us.
I'll make a motion to purchase 11 cases of the mosquito dunks, 12 by 2 packs for $504.24, include shipping. 2 cases of the Natural Art XRT tablets for $1639.10, include shipping. 30 cases of the HG 95854 cutter skinsations, 1 ounce travel size pump spray for $1,116, and 2 cases of the Natural Art DT residential tablets for $601.08, include shipping. Total project expenditure is $3,860.42, with $3,820.11 coming from the Oakland County West Nile Virus Prevention Fund, account number 101072006, and $40.31 coming from the Oxford Township General Fund, account number 101299880.001.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can you repeat that, Joe?
Want me to?
No, teasing. That's been moved and supported. Let's do a roll call.
Clerk Wright, yes. Supervisor Dunn.
Yes.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Trustee Dur.
Yes.
I'll make the motion to adopt the resolution authorizing the West Nile Virus Fund expense reimbursement request as presented.
Moved.
Second.
Seconded by Dur. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Move on to the recommendation for the 2017 Safety Path Project and Cemetery Paving Project. Treasurer Ferrari, someone was asking me, I'm going to have the chairman of the cemetery committee say where the paving is going to take place.
Okay, all right, we're gonna start with that. Yeah, we received bids, we combined the bids here for the total package. Our plan is to pave the North Oxford Road Cemetery, the addition that we acquired back in 1994. And then we're also going to plan to pave Mount Pleasant, which is the far right going to the east part of the cemetery, down by the Wall House and back off the Baldwin Road. So, I do have a map, but I don't have to dig it out.
That's fine, I just wanted to give a kind of a little overview of the cemetery. Joe, you got anything for the...
Safety paths are just repairing the most pertinent projects we need to get repaired so that the safety path system's in better shape. I move to award the 2017 Safety Path Repair Project and Cemetery Paving Project at Birmingham Sealcoat to complete the Condition 3 list of safety path repairs in the bid amount of $109,312.75 as identified by Sharp Engineering. The paving of cemetery roads in North Oxford Cemetery, Mount Pleasant Cemetery in the bid amount of $53,910.35. Total bid amount of $163,223.10. $109,312.75 bid amount for the safety path repairs are to be expensed to the general fund unallocated account 101-299-933.297 safety path maintenance, and remaining funds greater than the $109,312.75 bid amount at general fund unallocated account 101-299-933.297 safety path maintenance fund to be used to complete a portion of the Condition 2 safety path repairs as identified by Sharp Engineering in an amount not to exceed a total of $125,000 for the Condition 3 and Condition 2 safety path repairs. The $53,910.35 bid amount for paving of cemetery roads in North Oxford Cemetery and Mount Pleasant Cemetery is to be expensed to Cemetery Maintenance Fund 209-276-811.00 restoration.
Moved and seconded. Did you catch that,
We
Callie?
got a copy here for you.
Nichols, second.
Good.
Okay. Yes,
Do you have a
I
copy? Do you have a copy?
Yep, sure do.
You got a copy, Kim?
Yes, I do.
Okay, any other questions?
I didn't say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Let's do a roll call.
Treasurer Ferrari.
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn.
Yes.
Clerk Wright, yes. Trustee Dur.
Yes.
And Trustee Nichols.
Yes.
Clinton River Water Resource Recovery Facility Drain District bonds. Curtis.
Okay, board members, in your packet here, there's another proposed bond coming up for the Clinton River Water Resource Recovery Facility Drain District. The estimated cost is approximately $775,000. Right now, it's an estimated cost because we don't know what the bond is going to be. So in your packet, this is information only for the board, but anyway, in your packet, you'll see the percentage of Oxford Township's responsibility. This is at 1.847%. That's brings up to $775,000. And of that cost, the bond is estimated for 20 years at a 2.5% interest rate. So what the Water and Sewer Committee is considering and going to review and bring back to you in May is a recommendation either to prepay this whole bond amount out of the sewer fund or whether to bond the amount for the entire 20-year period. The item in question is the interest rate, which is estimated at $235,000. The sewer fund currently has about $3.2 million in it. So we need to look at the numbers as far as our existing bonds that are already obligated and other items that the sewer fund and sewer district is potentially going to have to look at before we make a...
Chris, this is an all or nothing, right? We can't do a partial.
I'm not aware of any partial Supervisor Johnson or anything. That hasn't been discussed. Engineer Shaw, I don't know if he has any.
No partials, and
Nope.
you have to decide up front whether you're gonna do it or not. You can't pay it for 2 years and then pay the rest of it off like a mortgage or something like that. You're either in it for 20 years or you prepay it.
One or the other, okay.
So that's the item that we'll bring back to you in May. We just wanted to get you informed that that is forthcoming, and potentially we may have more water and sewer items to bring to you in May. We just have to get the details and the information to be able to bring a solid information for a decision. So that's all it was, just informational. It's forthcoming in May.
Okay, any other questions? It's a hot topic. None?
That'll give us a good chance, Mr. Chairman, we'll get the numbers and go from there.
I'm sure there'll be a spreadsheet in there too.
Okay.
Maybe two. Items removed, we had none. Public comment, any public comment? Moving on to Board of Trustee comment. We'll start down there with the smarter Elgin Nichols after his
Oh, me? Okay.
MTA convention.
Yes, very interesting. We talked about legislation that's coming up the pike. Some interesting things that may or may not happen. Did talk about with the group from the road commission as to what's going on there and how it affects township and the kind of relationships that we should have with the county road commission. Very, very interesting in terms of information. I did bring it back. If you want to see hard copy, I do have it. Jack Curtis, I left him there to continue to find out more information and follow the process.
Okay. Curtis?
I was just intrigued by the comments during public comment there about the proposed ordinances, so we asked to see what the language is to put these on our books.
I do have them on my desk. Is that it?
That's it, yes.
Again, at that meeting last night, I'm glad that we kind of resolved it to take care of the inconsistencies. Both sides, it probably stopped some from becoming the Hatfield and McCoys. We're going to start fresh. They've got a committee going, and I think we're going to end up with a better product with a lot more happy people.
I agree too. I think that was a better way to do it. Bring everybody involved, get everybody together, and come up with a good game plan. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Okay.
You want to do over?
No, go ahead.
It's been moved. I'll support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.